Hello and welcome back to Tales of Lumin. Today we are going to be discussing briefly the big announcements, reveals, and news from BlizzCon 2014. I want to get us all on the same page. I want to make sure everyone that watches my videos knows what happened at BlizzCon, knows what the big announcements and big reveals were, so that when I talk about them going forward, because I'm going to be talking about, in the next couple of days, my experiences with these different games at the event. So I'm going to be talking specifically about, say, my playtime with Overwatch. I've got a lot to say about that. My playtime with Goblins vs. Gnomes, and so on and so forth. So I want you all to have that basic knowledge of what happened at BlizzCon 2014, so that everything I say in these future videos will make more sense. That said, Overwatch, Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, World of Warcraft, StarCraft 2, and Diablo III, all going to be spoken about now, briefly, as I mentioned. That's a lot of games, isn't it? All from Blizzard. It's pretty crazy. So we're going to start with Overwatch. Overwatch was revealed. I'm sure you all know about that now. If you've watched my previous videos, I spoke about it briefly. It was a bit of a shocker. I mean, a lot of people expected a first-person shooter, but it was still a shocker. I was blown away by it, by how crazy cool it looks. But 6v6 team-based shooter for the PC currently. I'm pretty sure it's going to come to consoles. I mean, it just seems like a good fit. It seems like it would work on the next-gen consoles, or even the current-gen ones. Doesn't matter. It's got to focus on teamwork and objectives over just straight-up killing opponents like a lot of games nowadays. And it's meant to be very fun and accessible. So even if you don't have the most amazing aim in the world, you should still be able to find a character that works for you, and you should still be able to have an impact on the games you play in. Now, the game itself, the world that it's based in, is a future version of Earth, and it's centered around the heroes of the Overwatch. And the Overwatch protected the Earth from some or other robot invasion. There were some bad robots out there, and it was called the Omnic Crisis. So they protected the citizens of Earth from these robots, but then they disappeared. And now they are once again needed because some more bad things are happening. We don't know all that much about this story, but I will say that if you want to read more about the specific heroes, about the world, about the backstory, the lore, then you should probably just check out the website, playeroverwatch.com. A lot of information there. At BlizzCon we saw 12 heroes. We actually saw a couple more in the concept art, but 12 heroes were playable. There was obviously the absolutely amazing cinematic that they used to reveal the game that you can find linked below. I urge you to check it out. The cinematic is just so good. Really is. Then there's some gameplay that you can watch. I mean, there's footage for all the different heroes. Then there are a couple of like shoutcasted matches that some of the Blizzard employees shoutcasted, and a whole lot more on the website. Check it out. But with that done, we're going to move on to Hearthstone, Goblins vs. Gnomes. This came as even bigger of a shock to me because I didn't expect it to come out so soon. Goblins vs. Gnomes is launching in December. It's a full-on expansion. It's coming with 120 new cards. They're going to be coming in new booster packs. So you'll be able to buy the original one plus the new Goblins vs. Gnomes ones. I'm hoping people still buy the original ones because, well, it's going to feel bad to leave those cards behind, but you're probably still going to use them because there'll be nice synergies between the old and the new cards. I'm hoping for that at least. There's a new card type, which is mech. Most of this expansion is based or focused on these mechs. There's going to be a spectator mode coming for friends, and that's probably going to make tournaments and shoutcasting and stuff like that a whole lot easier. There's a new game board, and then obviously you can check out the trailer and the gameplay videos of Goblins vs. Gnomes. They also have a really cool campaign running on the official site where they're revealing new cards on pretty much a daily basis where you can actually vote for which card you want to see. They show you the card's art. They tell you which class it's for, what type of card it is. Then you gotta vote and you gotta see, you know, who wants to see which one the most. Then they reveal the one and the other one gets tossed aside. It's a great campaign though, and some of the cards that they're showing off, wow, really cool. Check it out. Okay, just go to playhearthstone.com, find your way from there to the Goblins vs. Gnomes site, and enjoy. I urge you to check it out. Moving on though to Heroes of the Storm. There wasn't that much revealed for Heroes of the Storm, but there was at least a little bit, and we were told that the beta is coming January the 13th. which is a pretty big deal. They're going to allow a whole lot more people to start playing, and I think because of that, the game will just be much more fun. But a new map was shown off called Sky Temple, and this one is pretty interesting. It has different zones around the map that sort of highlight or come to life at certain points. Then you gotta go there and you gotta kill a boss before the opposing team kills their boss to take control of it and help push the lanes. It's a mix between some of the other maps, but it's a really interesting looking map as well. The theme is really cool. I like it. It works. There was also a map called Tomb of the Spider Queen, I think, but we didn't get to play that at BlizzCon. Then there are some new heroes, Jaina, Thrall, and the Lost Vikings. The Lost Vikings are apparently the first insane difficulty hero, mainly because they work completely differently than anything else in the game at the moment. There are actually 3 separate units that you need to control. It's kind of crazy. Ranked play, drafting mode, and a few other things that got the competitive crowd more excited. And that is, unfortunately, about that. Not much for Heroes of the Storm, but again, the closed beta in January is a pretty big deal. World of Warcraft is up next, and for World of Warcraft, not much was actually announced or spoken about, unfortunately. I mean, Warlords of Draenor's release was 3 or 4 days after BlizzCon. I mean, what could they really say? Not that much. There was a lot of focus on the 10-year anniversary, which was kind of cool because the 10-year anniversary is nice. I mean, there's a lot of fun and interesting stuff coming with that, and it's a big deal. 10 years of World of Warcraft. It's maybe not as big a deal as 20 years without a new IP, but whatever, okay? Still a big deal. There was the Looking for Group documentary that aired at BlizzCon. Also, kind of cool. I urge you to check it out if you have even the slightest interest in the World of Warcraft or Warcraft community. And then, on a semi-related note, because the World of Warcraft is in it, the Warcraft movie panel was really, really good. A lot of fun information there, and if you are excited, or maybe, you know, just even slightly interested in the Warcraft movie, then I suggest you check that out, because they had some of the actors there, they showed some of the props off, and all that other good stuff. Kinda cool. StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void is next up, and this is the one game that I did unfortunately not get to play at BlizzCon. I watched a couple of people play while waiting in line for Overwatch. I think that's kind of the case for a lot of people in a lot of the games there. You know, they were waiting in line for Overwatch most of the weekend, but there was a new cinematic shown off and it looked really, really, really good. I mean, the story of StarCraft 2 has always been a real highlight for me, but along with that, along with actually revealing the Legacy of the Void single-player direction, let's just say that, they also announced Archon mode, which is kind of strange, but also amazingly fun looking. It's a 2v2 1v1 mode, so you and a friend take control of one base and play against another 2 people who are also taking control of one base. That's why it's called Archon mode. 2 people together. Get it? It sounds like a blast. It really does. You can feel like a pro gamer and be everywhere at the same time between the 2 of you. It's gonna be cool. Then there's the Allied Commanders mode, which is like a single-player scenario type thing for StarCraft, where it's also cooperative, so you join with a friend and you get to level up your commander. You get to get new abilities for it and actually make it more powerful while playing through these scenarios. It sounds like fun. It's another co-op thing that I feel will just make the game that much more popular, because these are the kind of maps and things in the arcade that are super popular at the moment. So the more of that the game has in it, the better. The more time someone like me will probably spend in it, because I don't always just want to spend my time on the ladder getting beaten down. So there you go. Some new units were announced, and then there's also, I mean, we knew there were new units coming with the expansion, but then there's also automated tournaments that are coming, which I think is going to be a really big deal. And it's something that a lot of people want in all the Blizzard games. I mean, people want automated World of Warcraft tournaments, automated Heroes of the Storm tournaments, and automated Hearthstone tournaments. But finally, StarCraft is the first game to get that. Big deal. Really big deal. Now we're moving on to the final game we're going to talk about, and that's Diablo 3. Not much was announced for Diablo. We basically just got a big preview of the next patch and the next season, and we were told that adventure mode is going to be improved a whole lot and changed a little bit. The seasons will also be made more fun and more rewarding. There are new treasure goblins. other new mobs that we're going to play against, new zones, so new visual styles for zones. And I guess that also comes with things like music and sound and all the other good stuff you expect. New items and legendaries, new legendary gems, new transmogs. Lots of stuff like that, basically. No huge reveals. I think that at next year's BlizzCon we might see a reveal for the next Diablo expansion, but for this year, that's all we got, and I'm okay with it. And that's going to be it for this video. So, going forward, I'm going to be talking about all the games that I played there and my experiences with them, and I just can't wait because I played a lot of Overwatch, I played a lot of Hearthstone, Goblins vs. Gnomes, I played a bit of Heroes of the Storm, and I also saw a whole lot of other people playing the other games, and I spoke to a lot of the devs and stuff like that. I've got a lot of insights. Okay, so stick around for those videos. I'm pretty sure you guys won't be disappointed. I got a lot of good stuff to say. Check back here soon for that. Give this one a like, share it, and do all that other good stuff. Most importantly though, let me know, and this is the most important, which of the announcements was your favorite. I actually discussed this with some people, and although Overwatch was just so mind-blowingly awesome, I'm still super keen for Goblins vs. Gnomes, just because it's coming next month. It's crazy. Happy that.